Time Chronics. This is Crystal from the most extreme wrestling. This is your Raw review for November the 5th, 2012 from Birmingham, England. Or Birmingham?
Birmingham?
Not to be confused with Birmingham.
Alabama?
Yeah, it's different. They established that at the beginning of the show.
I'm glad that they established that. Why are you touching
Well,
my
you have
ears?
like a piece of cat hair
on
your face.
It's not surprising at all, actually.
Well, the very first match of the night was R-Truth in a tag match with Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio versus the Primetime Players and Antonio Cesaro, United States Champion. And you are just glowing with excitement.
This entire Raw was a total snooze fest.
Well, I don't know about you, but the crowd there was like
The
super
crowd was
electric.
excited.
Well,
But
because it was a different country.
Yeah, usually to be fair, like when Raws go to other countries, they're always like super excited, no matter what.
Because they don't get them as much as we do.
Because they don't get them as much as we do.
Well,
So, yeah.
I liked the match. I'll say that.
Okay.
Sin Cara didn't botch as much as he sometimes does, which is always nice. Love seeing Primetime Players and Cesaro and all that. But in the end, R-Truth and Mysterio and all them win. What I thought was,
Kitty's being bad.
Well, that's okay. Kitty.
Thank you.
Anyways, so during this match, I thought it was weird that you saw the Primetime Players. You know, they always do that dance thing they do.
Yeah, millions of dollars.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Well, you had, the guys with the mask, Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, they were doing it, making fun of them.
Oh,
I thought that was kind of weird.
It is a little weird.
I don't know.
I mean, it's weird, but it's not like that weird.
I don't know. Seeing Sin Cara, like, goofing around,
That's
being
true.
funny, with no facial expressions, creeps me out a little bit.
He's not really a funny guy.
He really isn't. He's not very many things at all, really. Anyways.
He's pretty talented.
But he, like, sets up for the 619, and Rey Mysterio comes in, takes care of business. So now we move on to John Cena. Gonna cut a promo in the ring. Got Vicky Guerrero coming out there.
This was the only segment that I found even remotely interesting, which is kind of sad.
It is kind of sad, actually. Really, very sad. So Vicky's like, so I got like this video evidence of these hidden cameras that we don't really know where they come from.
The mysterious hotel room.
Somebody was filming it, apparently.
Yes.
Don't know who. They didn't really go that direction.
It was a security cam.
Was it?
Well, the dinner picture wasn't, but the scene in the hotel was supposed to be security cam. That's why it was like an aerial view, and she said somebody gave me the security camera features.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Okay.
Well, anyway, so they show...
Even though that would be, like, completely illegal, I'm just pointing it out.
Well, and they showed, like, the hug that they had, which explained the hug, because you were telling me, like, last week, like, that there's an A-frame hug that's acceptable. It's not, like, a relation-type hug.
The A-frame hug is where you hug like this, and your middles don't touch. Okay, so this is, like, the I like you hug. And so they were hugging, but it was more like... It was more of a consoling hug.
Like a friendly console?
More of that. Like, it was borderline, but, like, it looked like she was crying, and he just kind of had one arm around her, and she was kind of like this.
Yeah.
That could be okay. That could be a friend-to-friend, like, I'm sorry, like, consoling
Or it
hug.
could be a I'm pregnant hug.
I mean, it could be, but that would be stupid.
You really think it would be stupid?
Yes, I
like,
think it
you
would
think
be
it'd
stupid.
be beyond something they would do?
Not beyond something they would do,
that's what I'm talking about.
but stupid.
Alright, so they show,
Actually,
like...
probably not in PG, come on. Yeah.
They show, like, you got Cena in a bath towel.
First they just show AJ. First they just show AJ in, like, regular clothes going in John Cena's hotel room.
I already established that.
Did you say that? I'm sorry. And that was like, she could have just been going in there to get a piece of paper or something, whatever. Then they show her in a bathrobe going from her door to another door, but you don't see who's behind the door.
Right.
So that could have been like her, like coming from a girlfriend's room or whatever,
Girlfriend.
That's
not very PG.
I meant like a friend that is a girl, like a female friend. They were doing their nails or something, and she was just moving. Anyways, And then they show another clip of Cena coming out of his room wearing just a towel.
How dare him shower?
I know. So it looked like he was just showering and coming to pick up his papers.
I mean, he could have been just Val Venus in his, he could have just been pretending in his room.
So I did have to side with Cena in the fact that there was only circumstantial evidence in random video clips that meant nothing, all strung together to make a picture that could have not happened.
And I mean, wearing that towel, he was wearing more clothes than a lot of wrestlers do
at
any other point, so it wasn't like... I was like, he's actually covered up more.
And actually, AJ in her bathrobe was more covered up than
she was completely covered up.
So.
Yeah, I thought that was weird, because she wrestles like in little teeny tiny tight stuff with the booty hanging out, so I don't know. But anyway, so you got that whole thing. Vicky Guerrero is like asking these questions, and why you're running around half naked, that's why I was like, she's always half naked, and he's always half naked. What are you talking about?
Everybody's half naked on wrestling all the time.
Sometimes, like, Shawn Michaels gets your whole butt hanging out, you know what I'm saying? But, so we see her backstage, AJ, and she's all distraught and upset.
She's
a little bit over the top, but whatever.
A little.
Dolph Ziggler shows up and is like, I know what you are. Which took me like a whole second to get what he was talking about.
No, he didn't say I know what you are. He said we all know what you like to do.
Doesn't everybody like to do that?
It's a good point, but he said it in a way that was insulting.
Women just aren't allowed to have
There is
thoughts.
a double standard.
There kind of is.
No, there's not kind of is. There is.
How do you know? Well, and then after that, Paul Heyman, he like runs into Wade Barrett, and Wade Barrett he asked Wade Barrett if he wants to be like on the team. And then Wade Barrett says
Apparently
no.
There's a team now.
He says no.
But
I reconsider.
It was,
as long as you let me.
You owe me one.
You owe me one,
and
but
that's in writing.
But you got to put it in writing. So I was like, wow. He literally said, "No, I don't want to." Yes, I do. But I mean, whatever.
It was pretty ridiculous, actually.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
It was kind of weird the way they did it. I'm just saying. So now we have Daniel Bryan, tag team champion, versus Cody Rhodes in a one-on-one match. I liked the match. It had a whole lot of yes, yes, yes stuff going on in the crowd, electric as they were. And out of nowhere, Cody wins. I didn't even understand that.
Sandow did something to help him.
I missed that. Because it seemed really random. I didn't see
exactly what he did, but he did something to help him. And he won.
And for some reason, Kane and Sandow have a match. Oh, I guess because of that.
Yes.
See, that makes sense.
Well, it was something, but see, Cody Rhodes kind of threw Sandow under the bus. He volunteered him to go on one-on-one against Kane.
Well, I mean, who else would have done it?
And that's a good point, I'm just saying. That could cause problems in their tag team friendship later.
Well, they already got a lot of problems to deal with. So, Kane wins, choke slam, and they play Kane's old 2010 music or something. It was kind of weird, like they played the wrong Kane music.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of bizarre.
The wrong Kane music.
Alright, so now we have Maddox coming out, the referee extraordinaire, coming out to explain himself.
Yes.
He's wearing rather tight, rather small clothes. He kind of looked like a guy off of a show. Like a character.
He kind of looked like a guy off a show.
You was watching, like, How I Met My Mother or whatever.
How I Met Your Mother.
He looked like a guy off that show. Like, he just looked like a dude, you know what I mean?
Which guy did he look like?
It doesn't matter, he just looked like a guy who would be on a show. He didn't look like a wrestler, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Which I know he's a wrestler.
What you're saying now.
You know, and I know
And who is this that we're even talking about?
Brad Maddox. Probably the first...
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Probably...
You're right, he didn't look like a wrestler.
Oh, thank you. Probably one of the only Brads in wrestling that I can think of. I mean, really, in the WWE. Don't know very many Brads.
No.
Anyway, so he's like... It just reminded me of the old story modes on the wrestling games. He comes out and says...
terrible, actually.
No. He comes out and says...
That wasn't good.
He comes out and says that I want to be a wrestler. I got in developmental, and it's always been a dream of mine, and I just want this to happen for me, and I'm going to make this stuff happen, and that's what I did at the pay-per-view. Then Vince McMahon comes out and says, well, you got a long way to go.
Vince McMahon, literally. Other person I was interested in.
Literally. That's exactly how the story modes go, like, on thousands of SmackDown games.
Well, I didn't really know that. But it was, like, very stupid. Like, it just didn't... I mean, I think that's the point, that it didn't make sense that's why he would act that way, because they're going to spin it where he was actually in cahoots with Punk. But it didn't make sense. And it bothered me.
Well, I mean, I liked Maddox. I liked him on the mic. I thought that sometimes, like, he was kind of, like, super monotone.
He was very super monotone.
Like, when the crowd was going all crazy and he just continued talking, like, changing to the environment around him.
Right.
Which I don't know how much he was supposed to.
That comes with experience, though.
But yeah, it was just
react to
like,
the crowd,
because I mean,
stuff like that.
because at times he was talking and like you couldn't even hear what he was saying. I don't know. That was kind of like my problem with it. But besides that, everything else I kind of liked, and I like that they've introduced a new character, and I think that's good. What are you looking at?
I was just scooting my phone off screen.
Oh, well, good for you. All right, so now. You got Vince McMahon, and now Vicky Guerrero comes out there and does like a very awkward back and forth with Vince McMahon.
It was kind of funny.
Like, I didn't get it.
It was funny because it's like your boss is like telling you what to do, but in that super friendly way.
Because it almost looked like Vicky didn't know what she was doing.
That was the point. Because she wanted to do this thing. She wanted to do it her way, but
she wanted to have Dolph in the match.
Because Vince is like, no, you're in charge of this, Vicky, but I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of this. And she just says, yes, sir. It's like a joke. It was funny.
So, like,
It was the most awkward hug ever at the end.
Oh, and plus, Maddox apparently is going to get $1 million contract if he can beat Ryback next week.
Which doesn't really also make sense. Sounds stupid.
Well, it's like an undefeatable thing. And if he does it... Like,
but apparently all he has to do is low blow him one time and then he's down.
Well,
we've already proven that Ryback can be beaten. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's true. It only took one thing.
See?
Yeah, just a dirty move, which I'm sure if he's in cahoots with Paul Heyman and...
Making fun of my use of the word cahoots.
I'm making fun of your usage of that word.
Okay.
But if that is indeed the case, then yes, Punk could help. Heyman could help. Anybody could help.
I'm telling you.
So, he could be defeated. Alright, now I got The Miz. Well, they make like a match that's going to be like Cena, Ryback, and Punk. Triple threat at Survivor Series. Yes. Like they changed something.
Well, because it was going to be like... Because Punk was on a team. Now they made it single.
And then
a triple threat.
And team... And Foley, but like then they like later made it sound like they were still gonna do that.
No, well, because they changed it to Team Ziggler because Dolph's the head of the team now. Because now Punk's gonna do this other match.
Whatever, it didn't make any sense to me. But we missed last week, and I guess it doesn't even matter because all that's been erased apparently. True. Everything that happened last week.
True.
All right, so The Miz versus Sheamus. You got the Big Show out there on commentary, the World Heavyweight Champion, and the man that's going to be facing Sheamus.
Big Show on commentary was bad.
It was actually pretty good.
It was bad.
For him.
It was bad.
How is it bad?
It was bad because he's like up there with Michael Cole and JR, who are both awesome talkers. And they're like trying to talk and like get him to like engage in the conversation, and he'd say like 2 words.
That's not even true. He was
I just didn't like it.
He was not even that bad.
It was bad.
Not even close.
I didn't like it.
Anyways, bro kick, Sheamus wins.
And then he made an ugly face.
What could you expect? I don't think you were paying enough attention.
Big Show made an ugly face.
He did. But that was just one thing. He didn't do that.
He did.
Okay.
That's exactly what he looked like.
Well, you're just crazy like that, apparently.
Okay, we really...